Let's make sure that, oh boy, I sent my notification super early. Sorry, guys. That was like 6 minutes ago. I'm on now. We are good to go on that, I believe. Yes. Okay, so let's get that out of the way. A couple of things that we can do today. I'm debating. I stopped at Home Goods, just because I wanted to see if they had anything like mugs in my favorite color and stuff, the way that I tend to like to do. And I found this coaster that was not in a set. It was just all by itself, alone. And it called to me, and I bought it, and they sold it to me. They were able to like price it out as like, if it had been part of a set, it would have been this much or whatever. But it has this lovely green with sort of a neutral brown kind of a vibe. And I want to do something similar to this, but I don't know if today is the best day to do it, because I think that a drip marble would be better than a smooshie, and I was kind of in the mood for a smooshie. So possibly we might be doing a smooshie with these kinds of colors. Possibly we might be saving this inspiration for another day. So that's one possibility. Another possibility is that we will be doing a sort of a flaky gradient. These are from KBShimmer. This is Take It or Leaf It, which goes from like, it actually has a very, if you can see on the very far edges, some greenish, and then it goes through gold and copper, and there's the gold, right? And then it goes through like copper down into like a red, right? And then this one is Party Like a Guac Star, which has a little bit of purple at the very extreme edge, but mostly blue on the extreme edge there. It goes from this kind of yellowy gold that you can see there. Let me see if I can get it to show blue. You can see the blue here in the bottom of where the bottle is going, but it goes to a bluish teal color. And then this one is called Flake Expectations, which starts out as like a tealish color, and it comes through this, you can see a little bit of purple right there, this oceany kind of a blue. These feel like the beginning of from summer going into fall to me, and so maybe a kind of a like, yeah, that starting at the cuticle with one color and then transitioning down the nail into one of the other colors, yeah, is another possibility for what we might be doing today. It really just kind of depends. I'm kind of leaning toward that, actually, because I'm in the mood for flakies and kind of a negative space feeling, possibly. But I have a little bit of flaking here where I ripped off some polish. I think I mentioned that last stream. So I would need to put down a little bit of a sheer color, I think, underneath, to kind of make my nails look better before I put the flakies over top. So Naked Manicure sheer is a possibility for that. There is a sheer OPI color that I was sent on accident. I ordered the Ring Bearer color, and they sent me Bare My Soul on accident. And that's got like a pink sort of a sheer, but I think that's in this bag down here that I have still not sorted through. And I don't think it's near the top. Yeah, no, I don't see it. So I'm gonna go for the Naked Manicure color, I think. Yeah. Let me go grab that really quick.
Yeah.
This is the Pink Perfector from the Zoya Naked Manicure line, and this is the Buff Perfector. They're both relatively neutral. The Buff Perfector is a little slightly more opaque. Can you see that in the bottle? This is the Pink Perfector. Let me shake it up again. I mean, they're both quite sheer, but the Pink Perfector is a little bit sheerer, right? And the Buff Perfector slightly lighter, slightly peachier, and slightly more opaque. So I tend to prefer this one to the pink one. Hey, Praise. Enjoy your lurk. I really am like this, though, is really calling to me. So before we start on the flaky thing, I do want to do a little bit of testing and see if we can pull this off as a smooshie. If we can't get the texture right with a smooshie, we'll have to save it and do it as a drip marble on a later day. Hey, you subscribed again, Caters. Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you. I appreciate the nail art love. You're awesome. You were lurking in Praise's stream yesterday, I think, right? And she was building her books, presses. Okay. Let's get a couple of colors to look at for this. Let's see if we can possibly do it with a smoosh. Okay, so we've got this dark kind of a brown with the warm undertones. Cinnamon from Sally Hansen is pretty close, but slightly lighter than I think that is, but I think that would get lightened if I have a cream in with it. That's right here. And then this lighter sort of a brown Moonshine Manny, anybody want a peanut, is pretty spot on to that color.
I don't have my tape. But yeah, I do.
Here it is.
Did you count that time? Oh, yeah, I counted that time.
And then this, there's a couple of colors in here. We've got a kind of an almost, can you see right there? A brighter, lighter, yellower kind of a green. And then a kind of a lighter, more grayed out. And then a darker, kind of a more blue toned. So let's look for light green first. With a yellow undertone. It's a little more saturated. This one is good. Sinful Colors Innocent is actually pretty close to that bright color there. It's a little bit too light though. Zoya Tilda is closer, slightly less yellow, but darker. I think that's probably closer. Everything else is too dark. I'll have to grab that in a second once I come down. Once I go up, after I decide what my other colors are going to be, so I can just do them all in one fell swoop. That's Zoya Tilda. And then the lighter, more grayed out kind of a green. We got lots of options for that, right? Zoya Ireland looks like a good color for that. And then this darker, more blue toned. We got to get the blue toned greens out. Those ones are the ones with flakies. There we go. These ones here. We want something. Ah, perfect. Zoya, Evie. So those three are all actually going to be Zoyas. That's funny. Okay, so Evie, Tilda, and Ireland. Let me grab those. They're up here also.
Wow, he smacked me.
Tilda's going to need some shaking. Okay. Ireland is pretty empty because I use it regularly, but I have a backup. You see, it's there in fill line. So, we might have to get my backup bottle out. We'll see.
Camera icon.
Okay. There. That's a little bit more shaken up. This is Evie. It's very nice. Very good color. Yeah, this one. Let's take a look inside and see. I'm just gonna get the backup out real quick just to see. I got my backups in a little box on the back side of my chair on top of my little bookcase down here. I've got two boxes, so it might be in this one, it might be in the other one. Nope, it's in this one. Okay. There she is. If you're curious about my backups, let's see if I can bring it this way a little bit. There's a color sampling. This is obviously needing a shake-up. I have a rainbow order, so hang on, my little cap thing came off. Gosh. There we go. Sorry about that. Let's bring it back over here.
Flag. What the? Ooh, where are we going?
Okay.
Hello?
Having things within arm's reach is kind of important for me while I'm working. I want to have everything in my little circle. Okay, so let's get a little swatchadoodle going over here. If we were doing a smooshie, we would want the lighter sort of color, one of these. Ireland, probably. In the background. So let's do that. Ooh, the big cat just came. Here she is, the pretty cat. Voila. Big girl. Okay. Let's bring this down a little bit. Hi, Mom. How are ya? Well, and Dad. Is Dad there too? If this smooshie doesn't look like the way I really would like it to, then we'll save this and do it next week as a drip marble. Okay. This needs to be cleaned off. I told you that I ordered, well, if you were here on a previous stream, I told you that I ordered the tape that I prefer that's less, it's not as thick. But when it came, the wheels that it came on were too big for my tape dispenser. So I'm kind of mad about that. And I think I actually put it somewhere else because it's not right here. Here it is. Let's find the end of it. Here it is.
Oh, didn't break fast enough. Rip.
Oh, I scared the big cat. The tape was too much for her.
Yeah.
Okay. She'll come back. Or are you saying sorry about the tape? This just sticks so much better onto my thing, and it's more flexible, and I just prefer it. So we're going to make sure there isn't any dust or anything on our stamper. And we're actually going to move my camera so it's not directly in my face. And then we're going to see if we can get a good... You know what? I'm going to use the backup bottle of Ireland just so it's easier. And we're going to close this one real quick. And then let's open up, make sure they're all shaken. Open up some of these other bottles. Apparently I did not clean the threads of this polish very well. Look at that. Not good, previous Gloria. Okay, so we don't want very much of this. We just want one little itty bitty piece, like peeking in the corners of that color. And we want more. Again, same thing, not very much of the dark brown. And ish amount of the dark green. And more of an amount of the lighter brown.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
And the muted light green. Okay. So we're going to come over here and we're going to go smoosh, 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 smoosh. Smoosh, smoosh, smoosh. Smoosh, smoosh, smoosh. Smoosh, smoosh. Smoosh, smoosh. Smoosh, smoosh, smoosh. And we're going to say, no, this would be better as a drip marble. Let's do a drip marble test because I'm not getting the blend of colors in the linear way. Like, yeah, that was showing. That's a no. Yeah, it took some strength to get open because I let there be polish in the threads. That's my own fault. Hey, the cat's back. No, it's not pretty. I didn't think that it would be, but I thought I'd give it a shot, you know, just to see. Let's try it as a drip marble. Where's the lid? Here it is, of my stamper, so I can protect it. Let's try it as a drip marble.
hitting me. Ow.
I'm just gonna kind of give more precedence to some of these colors than others. And then we're gonna see what we can get. Yeah, that's more in line with what the stone is looking like. I might have to play around with the placement of the drops to get a more accurate representation of the separation between the cream parts and the green parts, but do you see that's much more similar to the stone, right, than the smoosh. Let me focus you in a little bit. Yeah. You see, right? Yeah. You hear James in the background. He's on his headphones. He can't hear you. He's playing a game. So I'm going to save these colors out. And next weekend, I can't do this now because we have to let the decals dry before we can apply them. So next weekend, probably on Saturday, I'll make the decals, and on Sunday I'll apply them, and we'll have maybe 2 streams next weekend, possibly. We'll see. That's not bad, though.
Yep.
Definitely much more in line with the inspiration. He can't hear you type. Oh, yeah, I guess. But I mean, even if I read it, like he can't hear me because he has his headphones on. Earlier, I was trying to get his attention. It took me like 6 or 7 tries of me calling his name before he finally heard me. Okay, so that means that we are indeed going to do the flaky gradient thing. That was the other idea. So we're going to put on our base coat, and we're going to put on maybe 2 layers of this or 1 layer of this, and then we're going to do gradient of flaky from orangey gold to greeny gold to greeny blue.
Yeah.
Let's bring the focus into the appropriate place. There we go. I have a hangnail on this nail. I think I tell you, every time all of my hangnails heal, I get a new one. It's like I can't not have one. But, oh well. This is where I cut my knuckle when I was trimming my hair. You think so? I'm glad. They have a little bit of flaking here. I was showing everybody earlier from when I peeled off my polish, and I shouldn't have the other day. A couple of weeks ago, it's still growing out.
I did the same.
Okay, so, you know, it's not an ouch. It's just there's a little bit of flaking on the nail because I pulled up some of the top layer of the keratin. My own fault. Alright, so we're going to put on some base coat. This is the Glisten Glow base coat. It is my favorite base coat.
Yeah, I'll have
it is a long-wearing formula, and it levels out things like those little flaky places for me very well. I don't think, as I've said previously, that it's marketed as a ridge-filling base coat at all, but it definitely does do some of that for me, in addition to being one of the sticky, long-wearing type of base coats. The cut actually is fine. It's completely closed and it doesn't hurt at all. It bled a little when I cut myself,
wearing a bunch of stitches.
But I slapped some Neosporin and a Band-Aid on it like immediately, and by that evening, like, it didn't even really hurt because I got it closed up so quick. And I was using very sharp hair cutting scissors, so the edge was pretty clean and it was able to close again pretty quickly.
I got an error for the last 10.
Hey, Dad.
My feelings on me.
This little cuticle scoop. I know I've talked about it before, but it's so invaluable. I love it. And I've never tried to do something similar with an orange stick, which is what I know a lot of people use, and I'm sure that would work just as well, but for some reason, to me, I just don't care because I like my little cuticle scoop the way that it is. Did you see that? I tried to go straight down the middle of my nail, and I did that instead. I'm skilled. Wait, you call me your precious? Oh no, my scoop. Yes. He just said hello, and then you said my precious, so I thought you're saying hello, my precious. I mean, which I guess I could be saying to my cuticle scoop. Yeah, my nails were long enough I could file everything off of the break on this nail. And the little reinforced area on the ring nail, on the other hand, also is long enough to be able to be filed off, so. Oh, look at this sweet kitty. What is she doing so sweet, all curled up like a donut? What are you doing, Ember, hey? I've got a little bit of cuticle stuck to my nail right there that I missed when I was cleaning up my nails before stream. Oops. Look at how cute she is. She doesn't have her eyes closed, though. She's not asleep yet, but she's just about to. They are drifting slowly together. Yeah, she's always cute. Sometimes you don't get to see it from the angle you're at, though. All right. Like, I don't know how that's comfortable for her, though. It doesn't look comfortable at all. This is not fully dry yet on this thumb. I think I did slightly too thick of a coat. I'm going to actually brush off some of what's there because it's creating a ridge. One of the gals on my hosting team at church left a little early tonight because she was going to go see the West Side Story at Moonlight Amphitheater. And they did that show a few years ago as well, because Praise and I went to go see it when Dave Hall was in the, was it an orchestra? You know what, I'm just going to redo the base coat on this finger because I'm using a relatively sheer polish on top, and it bubbled when I tried to go over it again just now. And you'd be able to see the bubble through the sheer color, so we're just not going to deal with that, and we're going to do a different, we're going to redo it. Praise and I went, I think it might have been, well, when you guys were, I don't know how many years ago it was. I don't remember. Oops. Yes, she is. She's giving herself a bath. Possibly. Or up at Victory Ranch. Because I don't think it was as long ago as all that. Yeah, it might have been when we were still in college. Okay, so this one is the Buff Perfector.
Oh my god. Yep.
From the Zoya Naked Manicure line. We're going to skip that thumb and come back to it.
That tether appears like really weird sometimes.
We're just going to do very thin coats of this because, I don't know, it's sheer, so you get tempted to try to put thicker coats on. But that ends up being counterproductive because then they don't dry as quickly. It just kind of blurs the visual of what's underneath. Makes it harder to pick out any of those flaky areas. And on 2 coats, even more. Okay, and night. Talk to you guys later.
This guy's spinning.
I bumped my cuticle. I'm impatient for that hangnail to grow out.
Oh.
This pinky has some peeling too.
Whoa.
The worst ones from that
Oh my god.
ill-advised peeling session are these 2 and this pinky.
Yeah.
Really, the rest of them are okay.
Look at that tether. I don't know.
There's a couple of different shades of the Naked Manicure.
That was the longest one I've ever seen.
Perfectors, and they have a Lavender Perfector, which is supposed to help remove the yellowness of staining. I think I am going to do from about here down with that between my coats of the Buff Perfector, because I think I do have a little bit of yellowing on some of my tips from polish staining. So let me grab that really quick.
Uh-oh, I died. Yep. Bye. Bye.
She's watching me.
Yeah.
It's got this purple tone. Let me shake it, make sure it's well mixed.
Yeah.
She's a pretty girl. the purple tone acts as a, oh no, we're doing that one last, as a corrector, right?
That's how you
Against the yellow. You see that?
You let through the water.
I don't know if you can really tell the difference on camera, but it does make it look just a little bit less yellow.
Yeah, I saw that day clips of people just like doing it. Yeah, that. All right.
Sorry, that's
Oh my God.
all in shadow.
There we go.
There.
I did it right.
Is that a little better? Doop, 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 doop. If anybody knows of Hamlet playing anywhere in Southern California near northern San Diego County, let me know, because my friend Eden and I and Praise would like to go see it together. I have been kind of on the lookout, periodically checking, but if anybody else has any news related to said topic, I would be happy to hear it. We're gonna wait a little bit before we go in for the next coat of the Buff Perfector, just because I can tell that these are not fully, this layer's not dry yet. Let's see if we can get her head back in frame. There. So in the meanwhile, what we're gonna do is add some thinner to our matte top coat, because it needs to be thinned a little bit. Just like any bottle that you're refilling. I think I mentioned this with my other regular top coat the other day. If you have a polish that you're refilling where you're adding more polish into the bottle from a refill container, the polish that's in the bottle already has had some of their solvents evaporate, and when you, I'm shaking it, when you just add regular, like the original texture into the slightly thicker texture without ever adding any thinner, it eventually does start to thicken. So I did not have to add any thinner into this top coat the first two rounds through, but when I refilled it last week, I noticed that it was a little thicker, so I just want to make sure that we're returning it to its original texture. You can see that's what I was expecting it to be previously. Okay, let's see. See, I'm still giving myself fingerprints, so I'm gonna have to wait for this to dry for just another second longer. What I'm thinking is probably just straight from the brush, do kind of a dry brush thing with these. Just kind of let as much of the base come down out of the bottom as I can, out of the brush like this. Let it all kind of fall down through, and then brush. Let's see. What do we want to do order-wise? Do we want to have the green at the tip or the green at the base? That's an interesting decision. We could also switch and have two of them going the opposite way. When I do that, I like to do like these ones, possibly. I don't know. Yeah, they're still leaving fingerprints. Gotta wait a second. Do 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 do. This is reminding me of the hand dance in the music video of that one song by Half Alive, I think is the musical group. They have a song where there's a bunch of hands behind a couch that are doing like a hand choreography. It's really fun to watch. Hey, big one. Yeah, we'll pet you while I wait. You can have some pets, yes, yes. She is like the velvetiest fur. It's so great. The baby being Char is very silky, and Ember is very velvety. She's got this like thick plush, excellent fur. Hey yo, how are ya? We're waiting for this layer of sheer to dry before we put on another layer before we do our flakies. This is Ember. She's being a sweetie patoot.
Yeah.
She's doing her little patty paws here in the front.
Was,
as my father-in-law would call them. Trying to make biscuits on the chair.
wait.
She's a good girl.
Uh-huh.
She's shedding though.
Yeah, they were like, wait.
I'm risking getting hair in my manicure for you, kitten cat.
Purple out, everyone's.
Let's make sure. Oh no, see there is one. Ah. And there's another one. Good. The polish is not wet enough for them to be stuck all the way. I saved it. Alright, let's add another coat of this. Yes, good. Cats are good buddies. Alright, so second coat of the buff Perfector with that lavender Perfector on the bottom 2/3 of the nail under in between the two, just for some color correction. All right. That's a little streaky right now, but it will level a little bit as I go back over it. That's pretty good. Your cat's name is, gosh, yo, I don't remember. What's your cat's name? Can you remind me, please? Black and white cat, right? Yeah. Like a tuxedo-y kind of a cat. I don't remember the name. Michael, yes. I knew that he was a boy. Pets with people names make me laugh. I don't think I've ever had a pet with a people name, but I like other people when they do that.
Oh my god.
See how that looks just a little bit more even. It doesn't call attention to the imperfections on the nail underneath. It just kind of blurs everything and makes it look kind of more even.
Useful.
Oh, yeah, this one. That's the, yeah, I used that in between. I did a coat of this one, which is the Buff Perfector, and then I did the Lavender Perfector from here down on the part of my nails that has a little bit of staining. And then now I'm doing one more coat of this. And then we're going to do some flakies over the top. Some flaky top coats in a kind of a gradient situation. Good deal on the Marshall's find, though. It's good stuff. Okay, so there's the 2 coats as compared to the 1 coat, right? There is a visible difference, even though it's quite sheer.
At least tether, like, it's very hard to read. Your tether, like every time I get tethered to you, I'm like, is it here? Is it here yet? Oh, there, it's really far. Oh,
there's a little hair. Get out of there, you little hair. Ian? Or Lan?
Yep. That's tough.
Gosh, that hair is still there. Plan. Oh, okay, gotcha. I'm using some of the flakies from KBShimmer. The Multichrome ones that they have been doing little by little. Starting with Flake Expectations, right, which is the bluish greenish one. And then Party Like a Guac Star, which is the yellowish greenish one. And then Take It or Leave It, which is the reddish, goldish, copperish one. We're gonna do a little bit of that. Hey, look, she left and you can still see her in the background walking around on the floor. I totally overshot my nail on this thumb because I was trying to even out the way too much polish that I had on my brush. You know, oops, oh goodness, look, I just blanged into that nail. We're gonna have to go back and fix that now. Guac, guac. Okay, I'm gonna lick my finger, and we're gonna try to even that out just a little bit. And then I am gonna daub a little blob. There. Once the flakies are on there, you will never know that there was a mishap. Like, it's slightly more opaque right around the little blob, but there will be flakies there and no one will be able to tell. There are so many good flakies that exist in the world.
Yep.
The little gold flaky topper that I put on the kind of muted purple green gradient that I did a couple of weeks ago. That one is from Painted Polish. It's called Gilded. That, I think, is my favorite gold flaky topper of the several that I've tried, just because the texture and the shape of the gold flakies in it is my, like, I just prefer that over some of the other ones. Some of the other ones have smaller gold flakies. Some of them have more textured looking gold flakies, and that one just is like right up the middle of the road. Where did my cuticle scoop go? Did I drop it?
Might have been removed.
I was holding it and I banged it. Oh, it's fell a bit back here.
Here's mine a lot about logs in general.
I knew I had it, because that's how I ruined my other nail. Moonshine Manny, which is one of the brands that I enjoy. She has a Facebook exclusive coming out. She does a Facebook exclusive for her Facebook fan group every month, and the one for this month is kind of, everybody votes on a picture to kind of inspire her every month, and the one that got the most votes this month was a kind of a fall leaves sort of a looking picture, and she gave a sneak peek in her live swatch fest that she does on Saturdays of the polish, and it is a multichrome flaky everything sort of a polish. Looked pretty. I'm excited to see swatches and see if they, you know, how much coverage the flakies have, if it's just a topper or if it could be built up or something, you know. This edge here. There we go. Had a little bit too much polish right on that edge. Oh yeah. I have Zoya Maria Luisa. I don't have the 18 karat gold one.
It looks like,
I mean, there's flakies and then there's flakies though, right? There's like iridescent flakies, and then there's multichrome flakies, and then there's just like metallic flakies.
What are you ready for, Size? What do you want?
I have a couple of iridescent flaky toppers, several of which were not actually purchased by me, but were like thrown in as a free gift in a D-stash purchase, or there was one where there was a shop that I ordered from, they ended up not actually having one of the polishes that I ordered, so they refunded me and then they threw in a free flaky topper as like a apology. And then I do have the two Orly matte flaky toppers. Those are iridescent, but I tend to prefer, it depends on what mood I'm in. I tend to prefer the multi-chrome or more opaque kind of flakies as opposed to the iridescent ones, just personally. If I'm in the right mood for the iridescent flakies, I'll go for them. But on average, I tend to go more for the multi-chrome ones if I want a color shift.
You're back.
Just because they show up over more colors. The iridescent ones you kind of have to put over a darker color in order to be able to see the shift well, I find, on average. I'm sorry, there's this edge of polish here that just got like underneath the edge of the nail really weirdly, and I don't want it to dry with a weird lip there. I'm trying to remove that little excess bit of polish under here without actually ruining what's on top of my nail. There. I can clean it up better with my brush once I'm done, but I knew it would mess me up when I was trying to apply my flakies. Okay, so then we have to do the pinky, and then we'll go back and start with the flakies. Okay. Alright. I bumped this finger a little bit, but not as badly as the middle finger. I think I did that at the same time and I just didn't notice it. Alright. Let's close this. Now I have to make a decision. Are we going to put the reddish orange flaky here, or are we going to do it differently on multiple nails? We could go toward, like, have this be like one color, right, and then have it like this, where it's like orange, 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 and then green, 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 right? Or we could keep them all the same. I'm kind of leaning toward keeping them all the same because the last time I did a gradient, I reversed it like that, and I kind of want to make them the same. So then the question is, do we want to start with green moving toward orange, or do we want to start with orange moving toward green? That's a difficult question. I'm thinking green moving toward orange. Anybody else have any opinions? Starting with this at the cuticle, and then moving to this in the middle of the nail, and then moving to this at the tip of the nail. All right, let's do it. So I'm going to do a dry brush sort of a situation as much as I can. I'm going to let the base of the polish kind of drip out of the bottom of the brush so that I have as little base as possible. And I'm going to just kind of, I'm just going to actually brush this off. I'm going to kind of dry brush the flakies onto the nail. I'm not being 100%, like it can go, it's gradiating, right? So it doesn't have to be 100% only in that third of the nail, but I want it to mostly be in that third of the nail. I'm worrying more about flaky placement than about hitting the skin. So if I hit the skin, oh well, too bad, so sad. I'll go back and clean it up later.
Could be worse.
All right. We might go in with more after we do the first layer. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. We shall see. I just bumped into my ring finger on this hand a little bit. Gotta be careful. Okay, let's do that thumb.
There you go. That's the spirit.
There we go. I'm just going to do this hand first, and then we'll switch over and do the other hand. So let's do the next one, which is called Party Like a Guac Star. This one is also green, but a more yellow, sort of a toned green. And
Doing this is like, hey, remember when you didn't have any AoE?
the other one that we just finished is a more blue leaning kind of a green. You can't really see the shift yet. Dry flakies? Do you, Do you mean like just the flaky plain, like in a topper base, as opposed to like in like a Crelly? Is that what you mean? Like no straight up flakies, just flakies in other things?
Look, it's tight. Look at his happy face.
A little bit of dabbing, a little bit of dabbing. A little dabbly. You know, I've never seen the Flintstones. James always tells me that he used to enjoy watching the Flintstones when he was a kid, but I have never seen an episode. Ooh, look at that big flaky. Come over here or further away from the other big flaky. Let's make this look a little bit more even. There we go. I'm liking that so far. Oh, I don't have any of those either. We're doing flakies in polish anyway. I see what you're saying though. I have some multichrome powders that I got at the indie shop and a holographic powder that was in the VIP bag at the indie shop last year, but I don't have any flakies like in the tub.
No.
So far, so good. I'm liking the shift there. Okay, so then this one is called Take It or Leave It.
You would. Hyper tube.
I think that that is nice. I'm glad that you think that that is nice. We'll zoom in again a little bit after I, you know, do a little bit more. But, don't come off the nail, stay on the nail. I want you over here. The dryer brush gives you a little bit more control, but you still have to kind of putz around a little bit to place them a little bit more where you want them to go.
Rotor.
All right, that's good. I like the shift there. This one needs a flaky slightly closer to the cuticle to make it look completely balanced.
Rotor.
Right. around. It's not smooth yet, you can see, but the idea is coming together.
Just press shift to sprint. And nickel.
Okay. Okay. I am going to get the first polish again, the Flake Expectations, and try to get a flaky slightly closer. There we go, to the cuticle on that index finger. So that as it grows out, it looks evenly grown out. Oh my goodness! I just stuck my index nail on the other hand onto the tape that's sitting down here because I was not being careful. Oh, the cat's not even there. Let's turn you back this way. Hello. Okay. So I just bumped that nail. So I'm going to put a little bit more of the sheer right where I bumped it. Because, oops. Again, the flakies will make that look much less noticeable than it currently is. I don't think I want to add more flakies than that generally, though. I think that's a good amount of coverage because we're still getting the good negative space kind of vibe. I do want one flaky right there, though. There wasn't a big enough flaky on that side of the nail. The rest of that looks pretty balanced, though. So we're going to do top coat on this, I think, after we do this hand. So let's go back in now with the same Flake Expectations. The bottom 1/3-ish. Let's bring you this way a little bit. See right there, the flakies covering that spot? Nobody will ever know that I was a total klutz who was not being careful. Hey? Because now there's a flaky covering it. Just exactly perfectly.
Big man.
Again, getting as much of the base out of the brush as I can so that I'm not adding a ton of base to my nail as I brush this on.
Stand up. My buffs are really weird.
There we go. I think that my focus is too high. Sorry, guys. Looks like we're more like right there right now. Let's zoom you in again. There we go. That's better. You can see more of what I'm doing. see if I can get a slightly bigger flaky. There we go. That's good. Okay. And then the avocado one. Party like a guac star. I think that name is absolutely hilarious, by the way, in case you didn't know. I have another polish called Yes, I Know Guac is Extra. And living in Southern California, you know, I'm sure that's true other places too, but, you know, Mexican food, etc. Oh no, I just picked up a flaky from the earlier part of the nail and accident. Oh no, I'm so sorry. That sounds pretty miserable. Were you able to successfully finish though? Despite your mishaps?
Well, normal. This is the scary part.
Sorry, I'm focusing on flaky placement, and I'm not talking. Oh, excellent. Yeah, top coat does good things usually. There was someone asking on Reddit. She's like, I never paint my nails, but I know that my boyfriend is going to propose because we're planning the proposal together, basically. And I also know that I'm going to have to be taking pictures of my hands with the ring because most of our important people live on the other side of the country and they're going to want to see pictures. So I want to paint my nails, but I don't really know what I'm doing. Help, can you give me tips, right? So people were commenting, and one of the users commented, top coat covers, uneven coats, and makes things like any paint job look a zillion times better, right? So if you don't trust your paint job, top coat is your friend. And that's so true. Especially if you've got a good quick dry top coat that will prevent you from smudging your finished thing, right? Trying to get this spread out a little bit more. There we go. Ugh, I just picked up a flaky that I meant to put down.
I'm stuck.
Get over there. Hang on, I'm going to have to poke this a little bit. Yeah, if Seshvit didn't shrink on me, it would be my friend too. But it was what introduced me to the fact that quick dry top coats were a thing, so I still do give it a place of honor in my nail art memory. It just shrinks on me. so I use others instead. Someone was saying that they discontinued the out the door top coat. I never tried that one because I found the Glisten Glow top coat works really well for me, and the Vibrant Vinyls one works really well for me too. So I never tried that one, but I was thinking about like ones that you can get in store, because those two you have to get online. And out the door was one that a lot of people were able to get at like Sally's and stuff. So it's kind of a bummer that it's discontinued. At least as far as I've heard, it's discontinued. Like, don't quote me as the end-all be-all knowledge of that, though. It's hearsay. Oh, here comes a big cat. She's back. There she is. The nugget. So sweet. So big cat. Alright. Let's do the last flickies on this hand. And then we'll make sure that everybody looks even, and then we'll do top coat. Yes. She's so cute. She's so cute and blinky. Oh, there's too much top coat on here. Too much base, rather. Not dry enough for my dry brushing desires. There we go. That looks pretty good. I might need to add a little bit more onto the tip of this nail to make it even and a flaky density with this one.
Yep.
Alright. She's so cute. She's being a little donut again.
Vulnerability. Yeah, that's our fault. What if we wiped?
Gotta get some flakies back on the brush. There we go. Yes, that's exactly what I was going for. I was thinking like transitioning into fall. So like the greenish bluish feels more summery, and then this side feels more fall to me. So I'm totally digging it. I'm glad that the vibe that I imagined is coming across. That's good. Feels kind of like falling leaves, yeah? As they... Okay. Oh no, don't go that high. Ah! This went higher on the nail than he belongs. Come back. Down here. Down here is where you're needed. On the bottom 1/3 of the nail. Well, I don't know. Some people call, I don't know, top, bottom, whatever. This part down here by the tip. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. Just muttering to myself here. go. This doesn't have as many large flakies on it as that one. Let's see if we can get one or two bigger ones. Right there. Ah, too much, too much. There, that's a little more even. This one needs a little bit more of the first color right over here. There. This thumb is just slightly more sparse than everybody else. Well, he was, not anymore, because I just filled it in. Right, those feel more even.
Our boy.
It's a big flaky, and I want it to go on this side. Right over there. No. There. Haha. Success. I'm being real picky with my my flaky placement here. I'm not just letting it haphazardly go. I am very carefully attempting to create even chaos. Not chaos, but randomness, I guess. Even randomness. Okay. I have to add a little bit more density into the guac color here, so that when I add a little bit more of the orange, like I didn't leave quite enough space here on the end,
Well, I have a boss.
and I have to take off some of the green, and I don't want to totally take off all of the green. There. So I gotta not replace, but replace, if that makes sense, some of the green. I feel like this pinky needs just a little bit more of that as well, of the middle color. There. Okay. Density wise, this index nail is slightly sparser. So I'm going to go in with just a little bit more of that central green as well. Just right in here. And a couple more flakies. Excellent. Okay. This one needs a few more of the greenish blue right near the cuticle line. So we're going to do a 1, a 2. I can scooch it up a little bit more. There we go. We need another, like, it feels like there needs to be one coming down. There we go. In the center to make the oval continue to look oval in the shape. I don't think, did I say oval twice? To make the nail look oval is what I meant. Okay. Cool. We are ready for cleanup. Let me close my bottles. Do-do-do-do-do. Let's see. This other test that I did earlier is looking pretty good for next week. Oof. Okay. Cleanup brush. Acetone. What are you squeaking about, baby girl? You hear her shout? She's pulling on my laptop, making the whole pillow go. Oh, look, she's coming down behind me. There she is. I don't think you can see her behind me, but... oh, well. She's there. There's her tail. She's a sweet, sweet girl. I am getting paint from the handle onto my hand. I can feel it, but I'll just deal with it in a minute. Because I know I'm going to get more. As I keep dipping, so I might as well just come back to it after I've done the damage. Do you see? Do you see what I did to myself? She's a gorgeous cat. I have a cat Instagram for my cat. The handle is Kitty Cat Stew. If you want to go check out a bunch of pictures of Char and Ember, I've got lots. I did post a picture of one of my cats every day, sort of a thing, for an entire year on there. I less regular posting now, but there's loads because I did that a couple of years ago. And I still will, if I take a picture of them that's like very good, I'll post it still too. Okay. I need to stretch my leg. Ooh, there we go. That's better. I don't know why the lighting is so incredibly, like, harsh right now. It might be because it's dark outside, and normally when I'm streaming, most of the time when I'm streaming, it's during the day, so I'm getting some light coming in through the sliding glass door behind me too, and it kind of softens things a little bit. So sorry that I look like a weird pop art poster. The hand lighting is actually less blown out than sometimes though, so I can't complain. Gah. I just got it on my other hand. Get off. Paint.
Sure did.
Okay.
Now we're like halfway there.
Bleh. Get a Q-tip. Okay.
Check.
I want to matte these, but we're going to put regular quick dry top coat on them first
People are only
because that helps to make everything level and smooth and keeps everything super solid. Okay. We're going to use my Glisten Glow top coat, I think, today. If I can find it. I think this is it. Yes. This is it. I've got a little dry crust on the edge of the bottle there. Where did my thing go? Here it is. Again. Oh, my top coat.
Good.
Okay. Making sure we're sailing in everybody really good. Okay. I'm concentrating.
Science.
Oop. Gotta be careful, bumping my nails into things. It's no good. You can already see that it's much smoother. Okay. Good night. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. After a regular top coat, we're just doing matte top coat, and then we're gonna be done anyway. So you got the idea. Thanks for hanging out. Okay. Yeah, it's 11 here almost, so quite a bit later where you are. Okay, that's top coat on this hand done. I looped one of my bristles somehow there. That was not ideal. I got an ad in front of a YouTube video for one of those singing apps or whatever that they're putting ads on every YouTube video about for some reason. And it was singing that one song from Moana. They're just talking about the line where the sky meets the sea. It calls me. Anyway, now it's stuck in my head. There's a something on the end of my nail here on the bottom that's trying to creep its way up around onto the top of my nail. It's like a dry little polish crusty thing. Stop doing it. Just stick where you're supposed to stick. Good lord. It's like what was happening on my middle nail on the other hand. There we go. It's because I was too messy when I was capping the tip and my nails are slightly too short. So the polish, when I capped the tip, this polish connected here and dried like downward onto the skin. And then didn't want to stay. Like once it separated off of the skin, it was trying to like crawl its way up the nail and be annoying. And that's because I didn't scrape around the tip as well as I should have after glomming on my top coat. Like right here. The same thing would happen if I did not go around and try to smooth that out. I'm just gonna have to clean up the rest with acetone. I waited a little bit too long on that thumb, and some of it on my cuticle edge is already drying. That's okay. It's not like it can't be dealt with later. Okay, Too much top coat. I'd rather have too much top coat than not enough. But really, you know, it would be ideal to get the right amount of top coat. You know, just being upfront about it. There we go. That's doing okay.
Says that
That one I did better with keeping the amount of top coat appropriate to the nail. These are looking pretty cool though, aren't they? I think they look great. Very happy with how they're coming out. Okay. See, I didn't even try to stay in the lines on this pinky. It's just not gonna happen. And that's doing okay. I think that this hand is dry enough for a matte top coat. Yeah, look at that. So, oh boy, though. So pretty. I'm digging it. Okay, so from this angle, right, you're getting the blue and the yellowish green and red, right? And then
what a guy.
you can kind of see it shifting as I anyway, matte top coat. I'm gonna really make sure that I separate each nail as I go with this top coat because the matte top coat is the last layer, and I really want it to seal everything in very evenly. It's already matting. Oh yeah. Alright, so we got the glossy over here and the matte over here.
I don't know if it's super popular.
Yes. Yes. I like that a lot. Very happy.
I'm just looking at all the stuff.
Okay, nail number 2.
Figure out how to spend my phantasmagoria.
Okay, really making sure we're wrapping the tip and getting everybody sealed in. And then going around the edges immediately thereafter and not allowing the polish on the skin to remain attached to the polish on the nail. Looking cool. The big cat's still here, by the way, directly behind me here. I think I can get her in frame. There she is. Ignore the bag of recyclables that needs to go out. All the way around. There's a hair. Get out. And then on this side, all the way around. There's a little dry, crusty bit. There we go. I am going to go around with the cleanup brush again after I'm done. Yeah? Yeah. Uh-huh. Okay, going all the way under. I'm getting some of that excess off. There we go. There's a fuzzy. A fuzzy is not what we want. Nope. No fuzzies.
Alright. I'm spending my time. Very careful. What are you doing?
top coat's done on this hand. We're gonna go do top coat on the other hand, and then we'll come back and do cleanup. Stop pushing on me. Look at her butt. This is like the most inconvenient placement. You need to move your butt. Please. Scoot. Scoot. Thank you. Goodness. I am going to get rid of some of the matte top coat that got stuck on the bottom part of this finger, though, because it just is feeling annoying to me. There. Stop. She's trying to shove herself into where my back is supposed to. It's no good.
Just try to avoid doing it.
You can't really see anything from her. She's just showing you her butt.
Yep. And then you get 3 of the 4 channels. Yep.
Sorry, there's some, again, dry top coat bits that are making their way where they're not welcome. There we go. I didn't want it to embed itself in my actual good top coat. There. That would be no bueno. Okay.
I can't. Because no matter what, this stuff is worth wearing. I made like four sets of gear. I think no matter what, these 4 pieces will be the best.
Okay.
Yep. I'm down track for them. Freaking trial. There's one up called Attempting to Clear OT Eats 3 THNDPSS.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm deep in thought. Sorry. I was thinking about my hosting team at church and some of the conversations that we were having today about some of their family things going on and stuff.
That's 1 tank with 3 DPS.
We, don't want to be necessarily talking about out loud.
Telling people what to do.
Because it's their business to share, not my business. And, the broad internet is not the place for stuff like that. Okay.
Here, just do that and get out. Oh, wait. Why is it specifically lost the black? Come on, Tank. Why would I? You know what this is.
Okay. 2 more nails to top coat and then clean up around and then we are done.
Yeah, there's a tool for that in WoW that we use. Yeah. I wait to use it because filtering 20 people is pretty rough. You don't like fighting.
Alright.
Wait. Weird. Sure.
Here we go. That's good. One more. We're looking pretty good. Yes, we are. All the way around.
Oh, I summoned him by saying literally a word.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right. Okay. I'm gonna let that sit for just a second. And oh no! I just hit the stupid tape again and I messed up this nail. So we're gonna have to do a little bit of top coat surgery there. But we'll be okay. Because thankfully, this is a very forgiving design.
Oh, sure, right.
So I'm just gonna go blob blob with some acetone and get everybody stuck back down. Right. Make sure that my flake placement's doing okay. And it is. Okay, and then I'm going to take my matte top coat. And I'm just going to go right over that side of the nail again. And that should meld
I have anyone else marking.
as it dries.
Is there a way to have people mark it?
It's not going to be noticeable that there was a repair there once it has dried. Because the mat will even everything out, and the everything underneath was able to be put back into place. Right, you can already not really see it. Yay. Okay, let me get rid of this horrible trap of tape that I forgot was there, so that I don't do that again. Let's close the matte top coat. And let's get a cleanup brush. I think I'm just going to use the one I was using before. I think that paint is dry. It's not going to get up on me again.
What the heck is our deep? There's so much supports. Alright, Sandy, just come with me.
Chef John from foodwishes.com. He's a chef on YouTube that I enjoy watching videos from. Every time he goes around the outside, he goes around the outside, round the outside, round the outside. When I'm doing cleanup, I think of that. Like this song. Because it's silly. And I enjoy the silly on occasion.
I don't know how we're gonna do this. I guess I'm over here. Mm-hmm.
I need to get a Q-tip and get the pads of my fingers as well. Because there is some polish there still too. From doing this right on the tips of the other hand. Okay, so that hand's done. I'm going to put some cuticle oil on it. And then I'm going to clean up the other hand. We're going to use my orange kumquat cuticle oil. Look at this horribly, like, stupid label. I put Sharpie and then I put top coat over it because I knew the Sharpie would just rub off. I did put this in a cuticle oil pen, but I don't know where I put the cuticle oil pen, so I'm just gonna go straight from the dropper. Oh, this smells so good. And this makes it look less matte, but once I wash my hands, it'll look matte again. No, 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 very oily, but it'll soak in. Moisture for the cuticles. You can't forget it. Alright.
Alright.
Boy, everything smells delicious now.
It solved itself.
Like orange kumquat. Very citrus, very wow. Paint on myself again. Blech. What I really just need to do when I open one of these new cleanup brushes, I just need to like dip the handle in acetone and just take all the paint off before I use it as a cleanup brush, because that really is the one.
Yeah.
downfall of it. Is the paint. I mean, I know I could prevent it by not dipping the brush in as far, but I don't know. I just feel like I have to dip the brush in that far. I just need to retrain my muscle memory. I think the reason I want to dip it in that far is because when the container gets more empty, I have to dip it in that far in order to reach the acetone at all. So then when the container is full, I'm not, like, I just don't readjust. This hangnail is, it just happened, but it's not a big one, so I know it'll go away in the next couple of days. And it does not hurt when I'm putting acetone on it, so I know it's not very deep.
Oh, the lag on the pushback. That's crazy. That's not how that works. That's not how that works. I'm dead. Because they have two red midges. Yeah.
Okay. Going all the way around. Yeah, that little spot there on the ring finger, totally invisible.
Alright, this is your chance, res every. Oh. Yeah. Alright, that guy needs to do damage this time. Alright. Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm. AAAR, the things involving all lightning.
Okay, Q-tip time. Get rid of all of the little residual bits of top coat, which you can't see because it's clear. Well, I mean, I guess you could see that it's lumpy. Or that it looks like I just have very weird dry skin, but nope, that's top coat. Okay, and then let's get some cuticle oil as well. Doot, 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 rubber rub, doot, doot, doot. Okie dokie. We are done. Again, once I wash my hands, they'll look matte again, but I want to make sure that I am moisturizing my cuticles. Making sure I'm not accidentally rubbing my polish out of place while applying my cuticle oil. This pinky is not completely dry yet, and I think I smooshed it a little bit, but I just was able to smoosh it back, so we're okay. Alright, let's see who's on. I think probably Colette is still on, but let's find out. Let's look. She is. So let's host her. And I will see you next time I'm streaming. Give me just a second.
From up here to down here.
Oops. I turned on her stream on my phone and I think you could hear that. Bye-bye.